Thank you for tuning in today. You're watching Spotlight on Education, and I'm your host, Tina Duckett, with the Troup County School System. This is a great forum for you to learn more about our schools, our students, and our programs. So we're glad you're here today. Today in the studio with us is Opal Hogg, and Opal is with ExxonMobil, and Pastor Andy Buchanan, and he is the pastor of Franklin Road Baptist Church. Today we will discuss our Partners in Education program. And before we go into the thrust of our conversation with our partners, I'd like to give you an overview of the Partners in Education program. It's been around for approximately 28 years, and we are a program that reaches out into the community to bring businesses and organizations into the schools to engage in a partnership. That partnership entails of material, in-kind, and monetary resources that the businesses give back to the schools to help support education. The program is also co-sponsored in part with the LaGrange Troup County Chamber of Commerce, so we are glad that they have been on board with us for several years, making sure that this program remains in place. There is also a PI board which serves in advisory capacity to help navigate the program to ensure that we are offering our schools the best program possible with businesses in mind and organizations that will help foster and enrich learning for children. So again, today we are so delighted to have Opal Hogg. Thank you for joining me. And Pastor Andy Buchanan, again, we're glad you're here. So now, I said that the program has been around for approximately 28 years. Tell me about your involvement as ExxonMobil and as Franklin Road Baptist Church.
Well, I moved here to take the pastorship at Franklin Road Baptist Church in 2008, and one of the things that was very important to me is that we were involved in the community. In fact, we developed our core values, the 4 L's. We call them love, lead, lend, and live. And our lend is that we'll be a church that lends a hand in the community. And so one of the first things we did from that was to see the schools in our area that we could be involved in, and so that's Hillcrest and Franklin Forest and Hogansville Elementary. We have a special connection there because that's where my wife teaches first grade.
Oh, okay.
So that was our initiative. We felt that was important. I wanted our folks to not just be a church that people drive by, but the church that's out there in the community, helping and encouraging our teachers and encouraging the families of those students.
And now how long have you been involved in the Partners in Education program?
5 years now. We're in our 5th year helping out in schools.
Well, we really appreciate you. Opal?
We have been involved about 22 years. When ExxonMobil came to LaGrange, one of the first things they wanted to do was to get involved in the education system, and so we actually started out with 1 school, and we now partner with 12 schools so that it allows the employees to volunteer at the schools that are in their communities, makes it more convenient, and also has participation up in all the schools. So we kind of partner. There may be some schools that we do a little more than others, but for the most part we service all 12 of those schools.
Okay, so, and Pastor mentioned that those L's, I can't recite them, I won't even try. But why does ExxonMobil, why did you all decide to become a partner?
Well, I think any company knows that the best investment that they can make is in the community, and especially in education, because the employees' children are in the school systems. Also, those are their future employees. So with things like the volunteer involvement program, which they pay their employees $500, they don't actually pay the employees, but the employees get a grant, and it's given to a school when they volunteer 20 hours in the school, and or for any nonprofit organization, but the most of ours is in the school. And so it's just an investment because it is making an investment in the future of our children and the workforce, and we also know that it makes a big economic impact on the community when someone can look at the website and see that we have a strong partner and education program when we're looking for more companies.
You're exactly right. And I'd also like to add at this point that we have approximately 170 partners, business partners, engaged in our schools, and 250 partnerships. And that is to say that often businesses will take on more than one school. As you mentioned, you listed several schools, and we know that ExxonMobil is system-wide, even though I know that there are certain schools that call on you maybe more frequently, but the magnitude of your contribution expands throughout the district. So having said that, tell us what some of your contributions have been in the past and even present as partners.
Well, we looked at our congregation and kind of thought about what we could do to help the schools. And our folks they love to cook, and they love to encourage and love to volunteer and help. So we have a lot of teachers, retired teachers in our church. So we felt like our best way to contribute was, number one, to make us available to the schools for any kind of volunteer needs that they need. So we've helped. Franklin Forest needed some help with their concession stands during one of their fall festivals. So we brought our whole crew in, and we ran the whole concessions area so the teachers could be, in other places and do other things. For Hillcrest Elementary, we went out and we said, we'll bring all the bounce houses and the big slides, and we provide all that for y'all for your fall festival. And so we brought in all those things and managed those while the kids played and just encouraged them. So that's that's probably the biggest thing that we do, is just volunteering. But second level of that is helping in the proctoring when all the testing is going on. That we provide proctors at Franklin Forest and at Hillcrest Elementary, mainly because it's closer to us. And then probably the one the teachers like most is anytime we get a chance, we'll take a fruit basket or a goodie basket up to the teachers' lounge, and all homemade goods from our ladies, cookies and cakes and everything, great. And just kind of put that in there with a little note that says, we love you and we appreciate what you do, and we're praying for you, and those kind of things. And with the association, all the Baptist churches in our area, each year before school starts, we take a Saturday and we go out to every school in the district, and we pray for those teachers and we pray for those students, and just really as the church community here, just really want to be a part of uplifting them and encouraging them as they do what they do. It's so important.
Teachers need the encouragement. These are the ones who are frontline folks with our children. Is that not true?
That's right.
So we definitely appreciate the contributions, the kind thoughts, the kind words, the encouragement. It makes a difference.
It does.
It really makes a difference. So how do you decide on what you will give? I know you said that you look at your congregation and say, okay, what manpower is here, and those human resources are invaluable. You talked about tutors and the fact that your company, which is a rather large company, ExxonMobil, allows employees to go out, and if they contribute 20 hours, then there's almost like a $500 account that builds up once they've reached the 20 hours and they can contribute. Who decides on where that money goes as far as the $500?
Actually, we have a couple of different programs. We have a program where every year since we've been in the Partners program, we give a $10,000 grant up front, and that is designated for, in the beginning we kind of used it for anything, and then we decided to try to make long-term effects with it. So we asked that it be in the math and science areas, and then this past year we added to that and helped fund STEM with the high school, the labs at the high school, the chemistry and biology labs, because they needed some updated equipment. But we basically, with the $500 grants, it goes to that organization, and we cannot say, you have to spend it on this, or it has to be something my child's involved in. That's not, it's for all the children, and so it goes to the school, and then they decide. Now, if we're volunteering to try to get, we have a Science Ambassador program where we have kits where we go out and and do some presentations. And if we see that there's a need, or the principal comes and says, this is really a need, we can designate it for the science project or for something of that effect. Sometimes it was the boards.
Promethean boards,
those
interactive boards.
Yeah, I can't ever remember how to pronounce that.
Because we're attempting as a school system to enhance technology, because this is the age of technology.
Right.
So it only makes sense that instruction would reflect.
That really makes teachers happy, trust me.
Yeah.
It does.
and so we definitely wanted to go to the academic parts of the school, and so that's kind of the way we do that.
Okay, so now you talked about your contribution and your years of commitment, which again, we thank you and we appreciate all of our partners. Tell me, what do you gain as a partner from being involved in the schools? You can speak personally and then on behalf of the organization that you represent today.
Well, for us, it's, Jesus called us to give ourselves away to be servants, and that's really how we couch it, lend a hand to the community. We're involved in the clothes closet, the food pantry, and just being out there to be servants. And so, ask what do we glean from it, hearing the stories from, we have one lady, I know she has a cane, but she loves to manage the big slide at Hillcrest in their fall festival, and so she's, the kids are hugging her and they're loving her. They even coaxed her up on the slide last year, and so she slid down the big slide too. So there's just, there's all the extra blessings of loving on those kids and families, and encouraging the teachers, and letting those teachers know that if you have, a family or someone who has a need, they can call us and let us know, and we help with those kind of things as well. And so there's just it's who we are, it's who Jesus called us to be, and so we just try to go out there and serve, and we have families that come through our church, regularly because of that, and so we're just, that's who we're supposed to be in the world, and so we try to accomplish that.
Okay, and for those watching, Pastor Andy Buchanan is pastor of Franklin Road Baptist Church, and so what you hear him saying is that is the mission of the organization you represent, which is the church. And so we're glad to have the faith-based community involved in Partners in Education. And so Opal from ExxonMobil, what do you gain? Because 22 years of involvement, a lot of people say, okay, I've given over the years, let somebody else take this over. But tell us about why you give, and what do you gain?
From a personal perspective, I love the education system. I admire the teachers, and I want to do whatever I can to support them so that they can teach our children. And it really gives you a good feeling when they appreciate those things that the company does for, teacher appreciation, or the beginning of school meals, or just little things that we do for them. But I think, I'm a true believer in, if you love a child, they'll learn for you. And so when we're giving children to tutor, sometimes that child needs and it's nothing against the parents, but sometimes we may get a child that has 4 or 5 siblings in a single parent home, and I can tell you as a parent, I can't imagine trying to do everything that needs to be done pertaining to school if I were a single parent. And so I think it gives them that little special attention. And I have had children that I started tutoring when they were in 2nd and 3rd grade and followed them up through elementary school, and then hugged them really tight on their high school graduation. So
that's awesome.
It's such a blessing, as he said. And as a member of the Partner in Education Board, I was so excited when the church community became a part of that with the whole Excellence in Education program, because I think that we have the bigger companies that are able to give some money, but then we have such a need of, it's not all about the money. They need bodies, and I know in our church that there are a lot of older adults who are retired, and you know, it goes both ways. They need that little extra, and then
So both parties benefit.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, then what better examples can you have in your school than faith-based tutors and
Yes.
so forth?
I got to make snow cones for 3 hours at Hillcrest, so you can't beat that. Give out snow cones.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so describe your relationship with your partner school. And I know if you're doing things on a large scale, how do you determine, how often are you meeting or engaged with your partner school?
We've just made ourselves available, so they actually will call us and say, we're having you know, this festival or this event and this thing, could y'all send volunteers? And then we put the word out among our congregation and get people to sign up and plan to go there. We know the special dates that are coming, you know, the fall festivals and the proctoring and those kind of things, but we're just, you know, that's what we tell them when we go in and take a goodie bag. You know, if y'all need anything, call us. If you have a student with needs, call us. And so we're just on their radar, I guess, is what we've done. And so anytime they have a need, they call us, and we try to respond to that. So there's not anything that's really set except for the festivals. Otherwise, was just I'll get a call from the assistant at the school, and we
But is it
we
too
try to
demanding? Do you find that are the schools too demanding, or?
We haven't found that. We've been able to pretty much, you know, staff or help out with everything that they've called. There are times when we're not able to fully get volunteers for it, but for the most part, we're able to come in and help out, get them through their tough time.
And we
or
are
whatever.
such that whatever help you can give and lending a
That's
hand,
right.
as you mentioned
Just go
before,
ahead.
we definitely appreciate that. What about you? How would you, after all these 22 years, is it a very strong relationship, and how do you communicate with the partners, your partner schools?
Well, of course, we always start the school year out with our annual Partner in Education meeting, and that's really good because especially if you're partnering with more than one school, and you might not get around to all of them or so forth in the beginning. So they all have a list, and you know, they just list out their needs, and then if there's something that we can do, then that partner, you know, will sign up for it. And so that's a really good communication tool. And then they give us the information, contact numbers for those, the person that is handling the program at the schools, coordinating it. And then, so we kind of go from there. And then sometimes if something comes up, or like Fall Festival, that it's maybe not on the sheet, but they'll call and ask for a door prize, some little something. And then it's really good because, you know, there are things that you can't always send somebody, and we've been fortunate, you know, to participate in career fairs, things like that, but sometimes there's times when we just cannot.
Right.
And so they are very appreciative when we can.
Oh, definitely.
And some are stronger than others because I am in some of the schools more than I am others because I serve on school councils. And so, of course, I'm at those schools more and may know their needs a little bit more behind the scenes. But they're very good about, you know, giving us emails, communicating with us, and very appreciative of everything that we do.
And the schools also, just as a thank you to the partners, will recognize our partners in ed on programs, the backup programs, on school marquees, or either on, I've walked in schools and seen a special wall that's saying thank you to our partners,
Right.
honoring our partners. So we in turn try to say thank you by recognizing your contribution, and we know that you're not in it for the recognition.
Right.
It's about making education stronger and better for our students, and motivating our staff, keeping the staff motivated as well. So is it important for the community to support education and become involved, not just kind of sitting on the sidelines? And it's good to have those cheerleaders, but at some point, you know, you have to get in the game. So talk to our audience about what it means to be a partner who is an advocate in support of public education in the schools.
Well, I think I would speak to, you know, to churches especially. I don't know of a better way to, churches are about people, you know, taking the gospel to the community, to the families, and so it's just a great place to give yourself away, to serve, and to love people, to let families know that, you know, the church is not out there just to get, but we want to give, and we give to the schools. What we've told them is we're coming. There's no strings attached to this. You know, we're not going to be causing any trouble. We're going to love, and we're going to help, and we're going to encourage, and we're going to let God do the rest of that. So I would say for any church that's looking for a place to plug in the community, you know, better than a flyer or better than a big mail out, just go to the school, and we have Franklin Road t-shirts, and we wear them, and just go in and help and love and clean up and straighten up and tie shoes and whatever we can do. One time I was holding jackets, you know, because the ground was wet at the fall festival, so I'm holding coats and shoes to keep the kids from, you know, getting their stuff wet. So it's just whatever we can do. And if you're a church out there and you're not involved in a school that's close to your church campus, you really need to do that, because that's a very important, wonderful way to love people.
I agree. Opal, what would you say as an advocate for public education in this program?
I'm definitely an advocate, because I mean, I think that education is so important, and you know, as I said before, it's an investment in your community. That's why Troup County, City of LaGrange, our Chamber of Commerce is all involved in our education system. And for people who don't know that and are not real involved, may not know that, they really do work behind the scenes to support the Partner in Education program and our schools as a whole. And I can say, from a business perspective, that it doesn't matter if your business is only 2 or 3 people. 1 hour a week can make a difference in a child's life, and you don't have to have money, but your volunteer hours, and if it's just in your lunch hour or before you open up, if you open up at 9 o'clock, there's lots to do at the school from 8 to 9, or if you close your business at 4 o'clock, there's, you know, things that can be done without the children being there. You can do anything from helping in the library, accelerated reader programs, tutoring. A school can always use someone there, and so I think that you would be amazed at how good you feel when you walk out of the school, that you made a difference in somebody's life.
Well, again, I appreciate you all so very much for being partners in education and dedicating your time, your resources, and your expertise to our students and our staff. We greatly appreciate all that you do, and we hope that you will continue to stay on board with us as we continue to grow this program. And to you, our viewing audience, we thank you for watching today. If you'd like to learn more about the Partners in Education program, please contact the Troup County School System Public Relations Department at 706-812-7900, or you can visit our website at www.troup.org. And to LGTV 19, our partners in education as well, we'd like to thank Philip Sledge and Keith McDowell for making this program possible, bringing it to you so that you learn more about our school system. Until next time, make it a great day.